into bets on a budget, ton of lines that we like here. We have a couple Saturday games and 3 Sunday games, 4 favorites, 1 dog. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Of course, sponsored by SOBET. Make sure you go over there, check everything out. The SOBET app, go download it, and sign up. When you do, use code THEISSUE. We would really appreciate it. Get all your advice and all the expert knowledge over there when you're throwing your bet slips together for the week, especially as we near the playoffs. It's going to be all
money-making
the more
time.
Important. Yeah, especially with these big matchups, because there's a lot of smaller, minute things that you have to look at. So go download the SOBET app. Like I said, code THEISSUE when you sign up.
Yep. Let's start here. Indianapolis minus 2.5 versus Pittsburgh. So one, value-wise, I get the hook on my side at 2.5, right? So Indy could win on a last-second field goal and go ahead and win this football game by the 3. Of course, if it's tied, right? Last-second field goal. To me, it feels kind of like a field goal to like a 6-point game, somewhere in that region right there, and I think Indy comes out on top. I don't trust Pittsburgh's offense. I just don't. And with Shane Steichen and Gardner Minshew, this has been a very, very good offensive team. I'll take Indianapolis minus the 2.5.
Yeah, I like Indy here. It's definitely the side, and I don't trust Pittsburgh's offense to put up any points. Really, here. It's going to be
It feels like a
negligible.
21-13 type of game. 21-16, somewhere in that region.
13-16, that's very generous.
Yeah, that's a lot of points for Pittsburgh.
I don't see it really going all that well for the Steelers. I think the Colts will kind of have their way here. Love this bet.
Denver, +5 at Detroit. You're taking Detroit to win. I think Denver could win outright, but the +5's a lot of points.
I was going to say, I love this +5.
Yes. Since 7 weeks, since week 7, Denver has had the most takeaways in the league on defense. They're letting up under, I think it's 16 a game, and they've been running the football better than almost anybody in football. And outside of that Houston game, Russell Wilson takes care of the ball. It's been critical, and Detroit in the last 4 weeks has kind of fallen back a little bit. They've turned the football over. Fumbles have been a big problem. Field goals, red zone issues have followed as well. I think Denver is a better team. I think they run the football better. Detroit, yes, will finish with a better record. Yes, Detroit is maybe borderline more scary in the playoffs because of their offensive firepower. Their defense is bad. Denver can run the football. We can argue who wins, but 5 is too many points. I'll take Denver plus the points.
Yeah, like I said in predictions, I like the Lions to win here, but I absolutely love this game to stay really close.
Yeah,
I'm talking like
field goal type game.
Field goal down to the last point or 2 points.
Whoever gets the ball last type of game.
Yeah.
The Rams -6.5 versus Washington. When's the last time Washington's kept it close versus a good team not named Philly? And Philly has every game that's close, right? Anytime they play a really good team that's not Philadelphia, Dallas throttles them. Who killed them a couple weeks ago? I'm blanking. But they got throttled right before the bye week.
The Bills.
The Bills. Well, that was earlier in the season. There was another team. Doesn't matter. Off a bye, I don't think it matters. Off of a bye for offensive coaches matters a ton. Off a bye for defensive coach Ron Rivera does not matter as much. Sam Howell's going to be overwhelmed by the Aaron Donald pass rush. I will take the Rams to win and cover. Feels like a 27-19 game.
Yeah, this is going to be one that we were looking through. They've always... The Commanders have always been like just losing by 7.
Yeah, always lose by 7 or more. Closer to 30 a couple times.
And against a very, very good offensive coach and a genius in Sean McVay. Yeah.
All right, number 4 here, Miami -9. Depending on where you find it, you may find it at 9.5. There's a lot of money coming in on Miami, so that line's getting bet up. Versus the New York Jets. Again, I just don't trust Zach Wilson. And Miami blows out bad teams. I know that they lost against Tennessee. That does not happen often when they lose against bad teams. They almost always throttle them. Divisional matchup, so they know exactly what they're getting. Mike McDaniel's a very good offensive coach. He knows what he's going to get versus the Jets, and he's going to know how to beat it. Tyreek will be back and mostly healthy. I'll take Miami -9.
Plus, you just have to know that Miami's coming out with a fire under their ass after losing like that to Tennessee. Like they are coming out to curb stomp somebody.
Couldn't agree more.
The Jets are in their way.
Yep, couldn't agree more. And Miami at home's been a lot better for team too.
Yeah.
Baltimore -3.5 at Jacksonville. this is one of those gut plays where it's like Lamar just feels like he's going to go off a little bit. It's in Jacksonville. Weather will be nice. It just feels like a Lamar Jackson game.
Yeah, and
It's almost like a gut play. It's a visceral gut feeling type of play here.
Yeah.
Because the value's on Jacksonville at 3.5 because you get the hook on Jacksonville's side there. In a close game versus two good teams in the AFC, the hook is on Jacksonville's side. It just feels like a gut play for Baltimore to win like a 27-23 game. We get the narrow cover.
and we've said it at various points throughout the season. Jacksonville doesn't impress me. Like, I don't.
No, when they beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, I was not impressed.
They have on paper a great roster, and they do have a really good roster with good good key playmakers, but they just don't do anything that makes me look at it and say wow. You know what I mean? Like, there's
especially when Trevor Lawrence isn't fully healthy.
there is zero wow factor to this team. But then you look at it on the flip side, and Baltimore is just absolutely running through teams right now. So,
Yep, couldn't agree. Let's go run back through those bets. We got Indy minus 2.5 versus Pittsburgh. Denver plus 5 at Detroit. The Rams minus 6.5 versus Washington. Miami minus 9 versus the Jets. And finally, Baltimore minus the 3.5 at Jacksonville. We got 4 favorites and a dog this week.
all right, yeah. Usually we ride with a little more of the underdog train, but you know what? We haven't had a 5-0 week yet. So you
Feels 5-0.
gotta adjust.
Feels 5-0.
Gotta change things as needed. Try to get that 5-0 or 4-1. I'd be happy with just something to get us to that sharp line. We've been chasing it since we had it in week like 6 or 7, something like that.
Yep.
So we've been pretty close. We're gonna get it by the end of the season. We got what, 4 more weeks of bets on a budget left.
Yep.
That is crazy.
With 15, 16, 17, 18, yeah. It's wild.
Sad.
This one and 3 more.
So we're going to start the winning ways here with a 5-0 week.
Love it.
Guys, make sure you come back